Today, we are going to build one of the most useful farms in Minecraft, a guardian farm. This is going to provide us with unlimited Prismarine blocks, Prismarine lamps, and dark Prismarine, so we can continue to build out our Japanese area, Sakura. Seeing as guardians only spawn in and around ocean monuments, we need to find ourselves one of those. As it turns out, we have one right between our two main areas. There's only one problem. We're going to need a ton of sand to drain this thing. Seeing as we both work full time, we don't mind taking the easy route, and so we decide to build a sand duper. Okay, that is the sand duper done. So now if I just turn on the chunk loader here now, and place the sand into the sand duper. And head over into the end, make sure we're getting sand through, which it looks like we are. I should be able to just AFK here and hopefully have enough sand to start draining the ocean monument. Well, that should be enough sand to get going at least. So now it's time to start draining this thing. Now, I may or may not have done the time-lapse recording properly when it comes to using the sponges for draining all of this water, but here are some clips of me doing it from a first-person view. Now, I have no idea if I drained this ocean monument as efficient as I could, so let me know down in the comments below how I did. Okay, so about 15 hours later, we're finally done draining this ocean monument. Now it's time to actually take this thing down, so let's get to it. The first thing I'm going to do here is just mark out where the center of this ocean monument is, so I can use this as a reference for when we're building the farm later. Well, good thing we're not playing on hardcore here, and as it turns out, 15 guardians shooting at the same time can almost instantly kill you. And then in my sheer panic, once I respawned in, I mistakenly thought I still had my elytra on, and almost killed myself again jumping back into the hole. Well, now that we're done doing the absolute hardest part about building this farm, it's time to actually build the farm itself. Now I'm using a design inspired by That Moonshine, which is based off a farm by Iskow, and it looks something like this. Okay, this thing seems to be working great. Now it's time to take it to the next level and have it fit the aesthetic of the rest of our world. I've gone ahead and designed the build in creative, and this thing clocks in at 32,000 blocks. Of that, we need about 8,000 moss. So I'm just gonna slap together a quick little moss farm right next to our mangrove tree farm so we can get some moss while we are AFKing at the mangrove tree farm. Well, that's the moss farm done. This thing works okay. I might have accidentally built one that was for version 1.17 and had to modify it to get it to work in 1.19. But this will do for now to get us enough moss to get this build going. Okay, we have just about everything we need to get going on this build, so let's get to it. Okay, and that's all the building complete for this farm. Let's go step through all the little details that are involved with this, and most importantly, go through the interior and what the farm actually looks like on the inside. So let's get to it. As you can see, I'm just sitting on top of the dragon head here, overlooking the build itself. We basically have 4 pagodas that we built in the corners and then connected by walls just to kind of bound the ocean monument itself and ultimately the guardian farm. And then we have 4 beacons which have been colored to match the prismarine that we've used throughout the build. And the beacons give us a lot of good power-ups, especially when we're killing the guardians using the manual mode, because they actually inflict thorns damage. So as we jump down in here, you can see all the cool decorating that Sydney did. So we have bamboo throughout, vines, leaves. There's a couple spots where water's pouring through to make fountains. There's also ponds throughout. It just really brings this whole area to life, and I think it looks really, really good. And then of course we have the main pagoda here, and I'm going to show it. It's a little hard to see when you're standing in here, and admittedly when you're out of it, but what it does is it really covers up the guardian farm with a really nice build. So let's jump on into the inside here. So this is the front entrance, and I left this exposed just so you can see if the farm's actually working, and as you can see it is. You'll note that when we're standing here, all the caves below us are spawning mobs, so the rates aren't quite as good as if you were to stand up in the AFK spot, which is sitting above the farm here. And when you do that, the rates are just insane. So I'll just pop down here through the stairs. You can see I've just used a lot of the prismarine blocks and cobbled prismarine, which we have gathered from using the farm. And then if we make our way over to here, this is actually the killing chamber where the guardians will fall down. And I have a switch here to switch it to manual mode. So you see when I do that, the guardians actually don't die and they become 1 hit. So then you can just swing a sword at them and kill them and gather the experience, and also use the looting sword to get more drops. And so that's how that works there. And then finally, we'll just go down to the collection area here. So you can see we have a bunch of chests and automatic sorting system. This is where all the prismarine shards go, the prismarine crystals, and then all the fish that we get go into here, and then any oddities that we get, like the tropical fish and salmon, go to this overflow chest. And then this is just bulk storage for all the different blocks that we can craft from this guardian farm. I haven't crafted too much of these yet, as I haven't AFK'd a lot at the farm, but we do plan on doing that just to get some of our materials stocked up for some of the cool builds we have planned next. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and be sure to check out our latest video where we built a crazy wither skeleton farm.